And also joining us this afternoon is National Security Council spokesperson, Assistant Director General Cornelio Valencia Jr. Sir, magandang hapon and welcome back to Storycon.
Yes,
Hi, sir.
magandang hapon, Ed and Ami.
Yes, sir. Sir, nag-release kayo ng statement kahapon. Well, at least yung National Security Council. I'd like to peruse that the wording of the statement kasi sabi ng statement ng NSC, you've uncovered espionage and foreign-directed malign activities linked to the People's Republic of China. Is it fair to conclude that this is directed by the Chinese government, or is it just linked or associated with the Chinese government?
Well, what we have uncovered is that there is a link. So, definitely, there is a hand coming from China on this. So, it is based on the investigations, the surveillance, the documents, and even the acceptance or admission and confession of the people themselves. So, yung tatlong nahuli about it have confessed this. So, this is one of the main bases. Their handlers were Chinese.
Okay. And intelligence officers from confirmed intelligence officers.
Not necessarily. Dun sa lumabas na istorya, not necessarily.
Hindi tayo sure kung government officials yan or private.
There are information, there are documents showing that they are.
Na government
But I do
official.
not. Yes. No, that they are Chinese nationals.
But
Pero hindi natin alam kung working for the government
Yes, sir.
or not.
Yes, there's nothing clear yet on that part.
Sir, I know you don't want to give too much detail yet, pero itong tatlong ito, how high up were they? And also, number two, I suppose they're all civilian employees. That was my reading of the stories that came out. How high up were they, and are they all civilian employees or merong militar?
Yes, there are civilian employees based dun sa stories na nailabas. They are analysts, researchers from our security agencies and departments. So they're not high and managerial levels, but one of the things that has to be understood is that they have access to sensitive data. Kahit limited yan, it's still sensitive data.
Analyst po ng specifically?
Again.
Analyzing what specifically?
So they were able to share assessments on the security situation, engagements ng Philippines, ng military natin. They were able to share list of names of military personnel and some operational secured data pertaining to RORE. So these are the things that they were able to disclose. And who else is interested on this?
Any information, sir, that puts our people in danger?
Wala naman. As of now, as we have said, we have dismantled these groups that are giving out information, sensitive information from our country. So the good thing is that they are cooperating and they have shown us the modus operandi of how they were recruited, and that would prevent us, that would prevent or strengthen or harden our people, knowing how it is done and how are they being recruited. And their disclosures also show the different systems that they have to monitor what we're doing.
So how are they recruited? Magkano po yung sweldo? Saka sinong lumalapit sa kanila?
Well, based on sa story na lumabas, ang method, there are many ways. We can look at what is happening in other countries, and we see there are a variety of ways they're being recruited. But here, one was using LinkedIn and other message apps. So one was applying or looking for additional money probably, and then as a sideline. So it starts unwittingly, simple things, assessments, reports, but eventually, as times goes by, sensitive information are starting being asked by the handler. So they are being paid initially small amounts, but I guess the more sensitive it goes, it becomes higher. What is important to know is yung profiling din nila. Ang pagpo-profile nila dun sa target nila na asset would be they have grievances, they have financial problems, they have access to sensitive information, or at least may link sila dun sa may access. Kasi yung iba, wala naman talagang access, but they keep close to those who have access and steal information. So, at the end of the day, ang nangyayari, it's again the trump card, money. So, kuminsan, unfortunate to say, we lose sight of our values, we lose sight of our nationalism when money is already being shown to us in big numbers.
How much are we talking about ba? Baka naman pwede nyo baka 500
Kahit
million
estimate, sir.
din yung
Kahit
tuwang
ballpark figure.
I'm sorry, I do
average.
not have the data. Hindi sa akin na ibigay yung data, but it's enough for them to turn a blind eye. It's enough for them to turn a blind eye.
But most of them are working in the security sector.
Yes, they are working in the security sector. At that time kasi, remember this happened, one was recruited as early as 22 and the other was recruited 2023. Remember yung ating insider threat program started during that time. If you would recall, the national security policy, it was written there that we're starting to look outwards, external threats rather than internal threats. So this program resulted to organizations in the various security agencies. So even the intelligence sector has to change mindsets from internal to external. So we are benefiting right now with the systems and the hardening efforts that we have been doing for the past few years.
Sir, typically kasi my understanding is typically there are usually three ways for a country to recruit spies for its operations. One is of course simple lang, naniniwala sa paniniwala ng isang bansa at kaya't siya ay magbibigay ng impormasyon. That's the number one. Number two is of course money, financing. I think you mentioned that already. Number three possibly is blackmail, which also includes what they call the honey trap. Yung merong minsan, you know what I mean.
Nakakapanood masyado ng maraming movie.
But you mentioned
Agree.
but you mentioned number two. I'm wondering kung may involvement yung number one and number three, meaning blackmail among other things, and yung quite simply they believe in this cause that they're into right now.
Yeah, what we confirm is the story that came out. And the story that came out is sa number two. It's money.
Money.
Unfortunately, it's about money. But we do not discount that this can be happening. Coercion comes in many forms. Hindi naman basta tinakot ka lang or blackmailing. Coercion, even economic coercion can be sinasabi natin to deny you of opportunities. That's coercion in itself.
Sir,
Pero
there are
in this
officers-
case, in these stories, money talaga yung naging weakness.
Yes, sir. Sir, in the case of these three, their case officers are not in the country. Is that correct? Kasi you mentioned LinkedIn eh. Mukhang doon sila nag-uusap eh. So do we assume that these Chinese case officers were never in the country to begin with, or at least they don't know that they were physically here?
When they were active, there were instances that they were here.
Bumisita.
Well, yes.
But they're no longer here.
May record kayo.
Yes.
May record kayo ng arrival.
Well, I believe there is, but wala akong holdings right now to show it. But they came here.
Did anyone ever show interest sa politics natin kasi meron ding mga speculation that they might try to influence the elections. Meron ganyan.
As of now, based on the documents that were given to me, there's no direct link on manipulations in terms of our elections. But what we're seeing in the information domain, there is bombardment and democracy in our freedoms, election-wise or freedom of information. These are being taken advantage at this moment, and we see it's going to grow until 2028. That's why we're trying to push the foreign interference malign influence law, which is being now being deliberated in Congress.
Sir, balik ko lang yung case officers kasi of course that's a major point of interest. Is it correct to assume that they are now wanted by Philippine authorities here for espionage?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they are. Of course, they were disclosed. The confession in itself shows that they were here, and but that was way back. So going back to the stories of these three people, it shows that one at least have been here.
Okay, so
Sir,
blacklisted
sir,
na
are
sila.
there indications that this is more extensive? Itong operation na to, that more people might be involved. More
Yeah.
Filipinos pala.
We do not discount that there may be others, but to say it is widespread is a misnomer. We have also ways of monitoring of what information is not known, what information is known. So we believe the systems that we have established since 2023, when we started all this, is standing up strong, and this is why we were able to get them. So the threat of more information, probably yes, but not as significant or widespread in whole of government. Not that kind.
Ah.
Sir, like it...
Ang
Go ahead, Galbo.
no, ang NSC ba involved in any way doon sa pagtitrace din ng mga trolling na suspected to be coming also from or linked to the People's Republic of China? Mga troll po. Troll operations.
Yes, we monitor some, but as you can see, that is why it is very important we have to have the foreign interference malign influence laws so that it would enable the security forces to really focus on these things. Right now, the monitoring of this, the study of this is bits and parcels by the different agencies. One of them is the National Security Council. We started this in 2024. We have to study what it is all about, and we have to learn from the other countries. We have to learn from the experiences of Australia, Japan, and other countries who have experienced malign influence and malign information. So it is a little bit new, and what I am happy about is that Congress is now deliberating on it. Now, the sooner it is passed, the more enabled the security agencies will be able to handle and tackle it. The FIMI law that we're proposing will be creating a task force to look into this, not only on preventing but also long-term development of the Filipinos themselves, the values that we have. Remember, it is not a kinetic war. It is a cognitive war. It is a war in the minds. So this is what FIMI is all about.
Well, sir, like it or not kasi, everybody, all countries do intelligence gathering, whether they admit it or not. It's a given. Everybody does intelligence gathering. It only depends on how far you're willing to go without crossing a certain red line, after which it becomes illegal already. Where is that red line as far as, for example, a case like this is concerned? Kailan siya nagiging illegal at kailan siya nagiging, pwede pa yan dahil ano naman dahil
Nagchichismis lang.
Oh, nagpapakwento. Of course,
Marites lang, oo.
it sounds trivial, but it's not. What I'm saying, simply saying that everybody does intelligence gathering, pero it's a matter of degree how far you push yung mga agent.
Yeah. Remember, if I would use the definition of other countries that we are also studying and proposing to Congress, there are the C's, coercive, covert, it has to be covert, it has to be coercive, corruptive. So these three C's, as we call, makes it already an interference. So normal influencing, normal engagements is not wrong, but when it becomes corruptive, it becomes a problem. When it becomes coercive, it is a problem. So, yung ano nga yung number 2 natin kanina na pera, it's actually corruptive. It's corrupting, 'di ba? Alam mo na ngang these people, you are taking advantage of their need. So, that is corrupting actually. So, it falls between the red lines.
Sir, balikan ko lang yung proposed bills ninyo kasi I was reviewing some things yung Commonwealth Act 616 tsaka yung Revised Penal Code Article 117. Mukhang ito pa yung panahon na kung saan yung mga spiya naglalarga bista lamang.
Precisely, that is why we are really urging that it's immediate passage by Congress. Imagine yung ating Commonwealth Act 616, 1941 pa po yan. And one of the things na hindi nila na-consider is the advancement of technology. Quantum computing, AI, all this can be used now for espionage. And they are being used now for espionage. So, we
And you can do
really
it from
think
abroad. You
kailangan
don't even have to be
they-
here. You can do it via
Yes.
internet.
Actually, that is what is happening right now and we're experiencing. And not only that, there are limitations of what the security sector can do to check. So we need that law. And what is also important in that law is they have made it punishable, graduated punishments for different kinds of espionage and information manipulation. So
Direct,
we really need that.
Can you just cite an example of a power that you want under the proposed law na hindi nyo kayang gawin ngayon?
One is yung mga investigations mo dun sa cyber. Yung sinasabi yung checking dun sa trolls. So, we need these laws. Kasi marami, how can you prosecute yung deepfakes?
Wala pa ba yun sa cyber law natin?
Well, cyber law is there, but that is not enough,
Yeah.
di ba? Even technology nga is have difficulty in identifying yung trolls natin who are bots and who are not bots.
Oo.
So,
Halimbawa, in dealing with yung sinasabi niyong spy, what do you need? Anong power yung kailangan nyo dun sa law na yon para mas madali kayo makapag-deal with this problem?
yeah, the inclusion of technology as vessels for espionage, as tools for espionage. That is one of the most important things that we need. Kasi we have to look forward. We believe technology will advance in so much in the next few years, and the more it will be used for espionage.
Sir, what happens to these 3 people? Kasi I understand they're cooperating now, but kahit pa paano they've already done, I suppose, some violations of the law and whatever agreement they had with the Defense Department as far as confidentiality is concerned. But the Revised Penal Code's Article 117 only provides for what? 6 months imprisonment up to 6 years.
Yes. Precisely. So those are, kaya nga sabi ko yung laws natin is one thing, and itong bagong law na to would have graduated punishment and penalties para ma-implement yung ating laws. So more than what the revised penal code provide us. So sa amin important talaga itong passage. Well, we are happy that Congress last January, yung technical working group have already deliberated on it. And last February, nag-meet ulit sila. So I think it's only a matter of time that we see the passage of this law. But the sooner, the better.
Pero sir, what's your plan with
Are you
three?
also supporting Are you also supporting calls para i-amend yung laws natin on treason? Kasi sa ngayon meron treason. Sa ngayon treason kapag meron lang war eh. Meron mga nagsasuggest na dapat baguhin yung batas na yon. Are you supporting that proposal?
I think I have to study it. Hindi ako medyo familiar doon sa law na yan. I can get back to you at some other time.
Okay.
Pero sir, what happens to the 3 people that were arrested or apprehended? I don't know what word you want to use.
So they're still with us, and but I cannot disclose their exact names and their
Yes, sir, of
exact
course, we understand.
locations.
Pero are they going to be
Yeah.
prosecuted or...
It is for our legal departments or our legal agencies to decide on it, considering that they are being helping us.
Baka may plea deal, no? Baka may plea bargain.
Yeah.
Oo. Yung pinopropose niyong batas, Director, ano yung maximum penalty that you are proposing?
Unfortunately, hindi ko nakita yung final form niya as of February. So, I cannot, hindi ko alam ngayon yung level ng approval ng kanilang penalties. So, I cannot answer.
Pero years naman siguro na hindi lang months.
Yeah, of course, yes.
6 months.
Yes, more than that,
Maybe 6
more than
months.
the revised penal code.
6 months.
We
Parang
want it to
jaywalking.
be we want it to be costly for the person para maging siyang talagang disincentive rather than incentive. Imagine makulong ka for quite a long time because pinagpalit mo lang sa pera, 'di ba?
Okay, sir.
Okay.
I guess that's it. Maraming salamat for joining us this afternoon. Sir, balitaan mo kami kung meron kayong bagong matisod.
Yes, maraming
Thank you,
salamat din po sa inyo.
Yes, sir. Huwag kayong maglala.
Thank you, Director.
Hindi makakaabot sa China. Thank you, sir. Ingat po. NSC Assistant Director
Thank
General
you.
Cornelio Valencia Jr.